Hi students, myself Mohammad Nader. Welcome to a new session of Power Electronics. In the previous session, we have already started thyristor triggering circuits, among which we have already completed resistance firing circuit or R firing circuit. And in this session, we will have a discussion on the topic RC firing circuits or resistance capacitance firing circuits. The main two types of RC firing circuits are RC half wave trigger circuit and RC full wave trigger circuit. Now let us have a look on the RC half wave trigger circuit. And this is the circuit for RC half wave trigger circuit. And in the resistance triggering circuit, we have seen that a resistor will be connected across my gate to cathode terminal, and the voltage drop across my resistor will appear across my gate to cathode terminal as gate voltage. Similarly, in this case, I have connected a capacitor across my gate to cathode terminals. So whatever be the voltage that is appearing across my capacitor will come across my gate to cathode terminal if it is positive voltage. If its polarity is negative, what happens? Due to the presence of D1, voltage will not appear across gate and cathode terminals. Only when my VC is positive, that voltage will appear across my gate and cathode circuit. So it acts as a gate voltage. And that is the basics of this RC firing circuit. That is RC half wave trigger circuit. And now let us see the circuit. Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t is applied across my circuit through the load. The voltage that appear across my load is V0 and the current through the load is I0. And I have a variable resistance R here and a capacitor C here. And this capacitor is connected across my gate cathode terminals of my thyristor. And in between capacitor and the gate terminal, I have a diode D1. And also I have extra diode D2 here. So now let us have a look on the positive half cycle of my applied voltage. When my Vs is positive, that is during positive half cycle of the supply voltage, before triggering my thyristor, what is the current flowing through the circuit? It will be very low value due to the high value resistance R. But still there's a small value of current present there. So that current will be used to charge my capacitor. That small current will be used to charge my capacitor. So a voltage Vc will be appearing across my capacitor, that is the charged voltage of my capacitor, and this when this Vc exceeds the minimum voltage required to trigger my gate terminal, that is VGT. If my voltage Vc exceeds VGT, or when my voltage Vc becomes equal to VGT, what happens? My gate cathode terminal gets triggered, that is my SCR gets turned on. Okay, that is the basic concept here. And the voltage across my capacitor can be varied by using resistor R. How can we vary? By varying the current flowing through the circuit. To vary the current flowing through the circuit, I can vary this resistance R. Then the current flowing through the circuit is varied, means current flowing through my capacitor C, that is the charging current can be varied. Hence the VC can be varied. By varying that VC, I can make my VC equal to or greater than VGT. Then I can trigger my thyristor. Now, consider the case of negative half cycle. During negative half cycle, what is the case? My capacitor, my thyristor will be in off state, that is reverse blocking mode. And during negative half cycle, this capacitor's lower plate become positive, and the upper plate becomes negative, and this negative voltage will pass through capacitor through D2, and the circuits complete through diode D2. That is the use of D2. That is during negative half cycle, my small current will be flowing through the capacitor through D2, and the circuit will be closed during negative half cycle due to the presence of D2. Okay, so a voltage will come across my capacitor, that is VC. But what is the polarity of that VC? The lower plate will have a positive and the upper plate will have a negative polarity. During positive half cycle, the upper plate will have a positive polarity and the lower plate will have a negative polarity. Now the polarity is different. So what happens? A negative voltage will appear across my gate cathode terminal. So if there is no D1, what happens? Gate cathode terminal will have a negative voltage and that will damage my device. In order to avoid such a situation, I have connected a diode D1, and this D1 will conduct only when my VC is positive. Hope this circuit is clear for you. And as you know, during positive half cycle, when my voltage across my capacitor has reached the minimum voltage required to trigger my circuit, that is VGT. When my voltage VC becomes equal to VGT, my SCR gets triggered. When my SCR starts triggering, or when my SCR starts turned on, what happens? This gate cathode terminal act as short circuit. That is, the voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. That voltage will be very low value, near to zero. So suddenly my voltage VC will fall to a very low value, near to zero, when my SCR starts conducting. Also, when my SCR starts conducting, what is the path of the circuit? During positive half cycle, my when SCR starts conducting, my current take the path from Vs through load through Vt, and it goes back to negative terminal of Vs. Hope it is clear for you. And when my thyristor is not conducting, as we know, the entire voltage applied to my circuit will come across my thyristor. And when my thyristor is conducting, the thyristor act as a closed switch, and the voltage across my thyristor will be zero. Now let us have a look on the waveform. I have a Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t, which is applied to my circuit, and I have a Vc and Vg, that is voltage across my capacitor. That same voltage is the gate voltage that appear across my gate cathode terminal. That is what we are applying to gate cathode terminal. Okay. Then, even though I have mentioned as Vc is same as Vg, due to the presence of D1 during negative half cycle, voltage Vc will not appear across my gate cathode. So my thyristor will not get affected by negative gate voltage. So during negative half cycle, it is not equal to Vg, but for the understanding purpose, for the positive half cycle, Vc is same as that of Vg. Okay. Then now let's have a look on this circuit. As we know, the main property of a capacitor is to oppose the sudden change in voltage, and that's a very important point when we consider this RC firing circuit. And for the circuit, consider the case starting from a situation where it was a negative half cycle. Before at the origin, or before omega t is equal to 0, a negative half cycle was occurring across my circuit. Then, as I said earlier, during negative half cycle, my capacitor is charged through negative voltage through D2. That is, lower capacitor will be positive and the upper capacitor plate will be negative, and will be completing the circuit through D2. And Now let us have a look on it. So during negative half cycle, initially it will be charging up to Vmax. Up to Vmax, it is charged. Okay, my capacitor is charged. Then suddenly my voltage starts reducing. Okay, my voltage start, that is the negative voltage, starts reducing. What is the property of my capacitor? Capacitor will oppose this sudden change in voltage. So even if the supply voltage has fallen directly to zero, my capacitor voltage will fall slowly, slowly, slowly. It is falling. Okay, slowly it falls to point A. Okay, when my supply voltage has become zero, my capacitor voltage has become a value minus OA. Clear? There's still a voltage appearing across my capacitor because my capacitor opposes sudden change in voltage. So at omega t is equal to 0, even if my supply voltage is equal to 0, I have a negative voltage appearing across my capacitor. Okay. Then during positive half cycle, Vs starts from 0, then my Vc starts from point A, that is a negative voltage. And when Vs is slowly increasing, capacitor won't be changing in the same rate as that of Vs because it changes sudden change in voltage, or it opposes sudden change in voltage. So my capacitor will be charged slowly to a value Vc. Okay, my capacitor is slowly charged. Okay, at this point what happens, my capacitor voltage has become equal to minimum gate voltage required to trigger my circuit. Minimum gate voltage required to trigger my thyristor. So at this point what happens, my Vc has become equal to Vgt. Suddenly my SCR gets triggered. Since it is in the positive half cycle, my SCR gets triggered. Keep in mind, this point is not the point at which my Vs is passing through VGT. So don't confuse with that. It can be any point in between these 2 points. Okay. At this point, my Vc has become equal to VGT. Then, as I said earlier, suddenly my SCR gets turned on. Then what happens? My voltage across my capacitor drops to a very low value, which is equal to or near to 0. Suddenly my voltage has reduced, Vc has reduced a value near to 0. Okay, near to 0. Then my SCR starts conducting during positive half cycle, and I0 will be flowing through the load circuit, and the current will be flowing through my thyristor. Okay, and current will take the path through Vs, through load, through thyristor, and this went back to source. During this time, no voltage is appearing across my capacitor, so it slowly discharges. So it slowly discharges to a value 0. It slowly discharges to a value 0. Okay, and this discharging voltage is a very small voltage will have appeared across my capacitor, and now it has discharged to 0. And at omega t is equal to pi, what happens? As I said earlier, during negative half cycle, my capacitor will be charging with the lower plate as a positive and upper plate as negative. Okay, through which they are through D2. Okay, that time D1 will be in off due to negative voltage. So it is conducting through D2. Then what happens? At pi is equal to, at omega t is equal to pi, my Vc has become 0. Then due to negative voltage, my Vc starts charging. Okay, my Vc has start charging up to minus Vm and is charged, then again the voltage Vs starts decreasing, and then my capacitor voltage will not suddenly reduce, and again it reduces slowly, and as I said earlier, at a point A, omega t is equal to 0, my capacitor will have a voltage that is a negative value, that is OA will be appearing across my capacitor, and again when positive voltage is appearing across my circuit, my my capacitor starts charging, and slowly it is getting charged, and VC is appearing across my capacitor. Then, as I have mentioned earlier, at the same point, my SR got triggered since VC has become equal to VGT. Then at this point, my SR is triggered. Suddenly, my voltage has dropped to voltage means voltage appearing across my capacitor has dropped to a very low value near to zero. Okay, why its value has dropped to near to zero? Because when my SCR starts conducting, or it is when it is triggered, current flows through gate to cathode terminal. Then this terminal acts as a short circuit. Then that short circuit voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. That is very low value near to zero. So VC voltage will be dropping to a very low value near to zero. Then during that time, my SCR is conducting, so I naught will be flowing through this path, and no voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. So my capacitor starts discharging, and it discharges to zero value till omega t is equal to 3 pi. Hope this is clear for you. And now consider the positive side of my circuit. That is when what happens to load voltage P naught and thyristor voltage Pt. And now on, let us consider from omega t is equal to 0. Okay, what happens? At this point, at this particular point, what happens? My SCR got triggered. My SCR got triggered. So draw dot lines downwards. That is the point, that is omega, it is omega t is equal to alpha, that is the alpha at which my SCR got triggered. Okay, SCR got triggered at this point. Then initially, since my SCR was not triggered, very low current flows through the circuit, and we consider it as a zero current, that is I0 will be zero, and that time I0 when flowing through a small resistance, that is load resistance, then V0 will be very negligibly small value, that is also considered as zero voltage. Then up to the point where my SCR is triggered, my V0 will be zero. At the point at which my SCR got triggered, my V0 will appear across my load, and the voltage has suddenly raised to a value which is equal to, or which takes the path of Vs. The same as in the case of resistance firing circuit also. What happens? When my SCR starts triggered, or when my SCR starts turned on, the entire voltage, that is my circuit will have only Vs, load and thyristor, and this thyristor acts as a closed switch, that is it is like a short circuited condition. So whatever be the Vs applied here, that will come across my load as V0. So V0 will be equal to Vs during my conduction of my SCR. So my V0 will take the path of Vs up to which point? Up to omega t is equal to pi. At omega t is equal to pi, my V0 will be equal to Vs. Okay, V0 is equal to Vs. It takes the path of Vs. And again, after omega t is equal to pi, what happens? Negative half cycle starts. So a very low current will be flowing through my Vs through Vc through capacitor through D2 and circuits closed, and that current is very small current, so it is considered as a zero load current, that is I naught will be zero during negative half cycle. So voltage V naught will be also zero. So V naught will be zero up to which point? Up to 2 pi. Okay, up to 2 pi V naught will be zero. Again from 2 pi, what is the condition? My thyristor is still in the off state, so no current will be flowing through the circuit, that is I naught will be zero, so V naught will be zero until my SCR is triggered, that is at point 2 pi plus alpha. Okay, see the value of alpha is greater than 90 degree. In this case 90 degree means pi by 2, it is the pi by 2 point, omega t is equal to pi by 2, so alpha it is triggered when omega t is greater than pi by 2, that's here alpha is greater than pi by 2. Okay, then again my SCR got triggered and V naught will be appearing due to the I naught. Okay, hope it is clear for you. Then when SCR is turned on, my entire Vs will appear across my load, so that V naught graph is clear for you. Now what about voltage across my thyristor? As we know, initially during forward blocking mode, when it is not under conduction, whatever be the applied voltage, that will come across my thyristor. So until it is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha, that is alpha greater than 90 degree, my thyristor voltage will take the path of Vs, that is Vt will be equal to Vs. And at omega t is equal to alpha, what happens? My thyristor starts conducting. When thyristor is conducting, it acts as a closed switch, and voltage across my thyristor will be zero at that point. And up to pi, my thyristor is conducting. Okay, then voltage will be zero across my thyristor. Then what happens? During negative half cycle, my thyristor will be in off state. So whatever be the voltage that is applied across my circuit will appear across my thyristor. So negative voltage will appear across my thyristor. Okay, Vt. And again from omega t is equal to 2 pi, omega t is equal to 2 pi, my SCR is still in off state, and so my thyristor voltage will be same as that of the applied voltage Vs. So applied voltage will appear across my thyristor Vt up to omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha, because at alpha it is triggered again. So my SCR get turned on at alpha. So my SCR act as closed switch, and zero voltage will appear across my thyristor, and voltage suddenly drops to zero value, and it goes on conducting up to 3 pi. Hope it is clear for you, and this cycle continues. Okay, from this what you have understood here, Vc is getting charged very slowly. Only after omega t is equal to pi by 2, my Vc got charged up to Vgt. That is the reason my SR got triggered only after omega t is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so alpha was greater than 90 in this case. Why? My capacitor charging was very slow. Why capacitor charging was very slow during positive half cycle? The charging current during that time was very small. Why the charging current was very small? My resistor R at that time will be of very high value. So what we can conclude, if I increase my resistance value, that is the R value, then the current flowing at that time, that is IC or charging current during positive half cycle before my thyristor is triggered, a very small current will be flowing through my circuit. If the value of R is very high, that current value will be very small, that VC, that applied voltage, so sorry, the capacitor voltage will be charging very slowly due to small current. So capacitor got charged very slowly due to the very low current. That very low current is due to the very high resistance. So what will be the case for low value resistance? Capacitor gets charged quickly when compared to the this case. Okay. So now let us have a look on the low value resistance. What is the case when my resistance value is very low? So all other cases remains the same. During negative half cycle, that is my VC, during negative half cycle, my voltage will appear across my VC. Lower plate will be positive and upper plate will be negative, and it is charged through D2. And after this point, my voltage starts reducing, and it is till now it is same as the case of previous one. Voltage starts reducing, so my capacitor voltage also starts reducing up to point A. Up to point A, as I said before, capacitor will oppose sudden change in voltage. So even if the applied voltage has reduced to zero, my capacitor voltage will have a negative voltage OA here. Clear? And from this point, there is the importance of resistance R. Now, if the resistance value is very low, what happens? Comparatively, more current will be flowing through this circuit. More current will be flowing through this circuit. So, a charging current is increased due to low value resistance. So, VC or charging of the capacitor takes place at a faster rate. So, VC gets a capacitor will get a higher value with a faster rate. So capacitor charging gets faster. So at this point itself, that is before omega t is equal to pi by 2 itself, my capacitor voltage has reached a value which is equal to VGT, that is minimum voltage required to trigger my gate circuit or required to trigger my SCR, that is VGT. My VC has become equal to VGT before omega t is equal to 90. That is, at this point, my VC has become equal to VGT, then my SCR gets triggered. So my alpha value will be less than 90 degree in this case. Okay. So thus we can conclude that alpha can be varied with the help of variable resistor R. By varying R, we can vary the firing angle alpha. So what happens here? My SCR got triggered at this point where alpha is less than 90 degree. Then suddenly my voltage VC will drop to a very low value. When my SCR got triggered, my VC gets value reduced to near to zero value. Okay, same as the case of previous one, value has reduced near to a zero value. Okay, then my SCR is conducting, so no voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. So my capacitor discharges to 0, and at omega t is equal to pi, what happens? Negative half cycle starts, and voltage across my capacitor will be negative voltage due to the presence of D1. That voltage will not appear across my gate cathode, that is charging current will not be flowing through the gate cathode circuit due to the presence of D1, because negative voltage appear across my VC during negative half cycle through D2. Okay. So negative voltage will appear across my capacitor, and at this point, again what happens? My voltage is reducing, that is applied voltage is reducing, but my capacitor will oppose sudden change in voltage. So capacitor voltage will be reducing slowly, and at omega t is equal to 2 pi, supply voltage is 0, but we have a capacitance voltage OA at this point. Again, the same case, since my R value is very low, charging current is comparatively higher value when compared to previous case. So, but it is very small value when compared with the I naught. Keep that in mind. So, current through this circuit will be considered as 0 in the case of I naught. So, here charging current is greater compared to previous case. So, what happens? My capacitor gets charged quickly, and at a point where omega t is less than this value before pi by 2 itself, my SCR got triggered because VC has become equal to VGT. So my voltage across my capacitor, as I have mentioned before, suddenly got reduced to a value very near to 0. Then during conduction time of SCR, no voltage will be appearing across my capacitor VC. So my capacitor will discharge up to 3 pi to 0. Clear? At 3 pi, capacitor voltage has become 0. And the cycle continues in this fashion. Okay. In the in this pattern, the circuit will be continuing. Now let us have a look on the output voltage. Same as the same as the case of resistance circuit or the previous case. V naught will appear only when my SCR is triggered. So until my SCR is triggered, my entire applied voltage will appear across my until my SCR is triggered, what happens? My I naught will be very low value and is near to 0. So V naught will be 0 until my SCR is triggered. Okay, until my SCR is triggered, my V naught will have a very low value. Okay, and it's near to 0. So up to alpha, my SCR value is very low and it is equal to C. My V naught value is very low and it is equal to 0. And at alpha, what happens? My SCR got triggered. Then voltage across my SCR is 0. But the entire input voltage, the applied voltage will come across my V naught. So V naught will take the path of Vs. Suddenly my V naught increases and take the path of Vs. Okay. And up to pi, V naught will be occurring and it is taking the path of Vs. Then what happens? Negative voltage is appearing across my circuit. That is during negative half cycle of Vs, what happens? My SCR gets turned off and it is under reverse blocking mode. So I naught will be 0. Again, V naught will be 0 up to omega t is equal to 2 pi. Again, what happens? My SCR will be in off state itself. So I naught will be 0 until it is triggered again. So until next alpha or until my SCR is triggered, my V naught will be 0. And at this point again my SCR got triggered and V naught suddenly increases due to increased current I naught because my SCR got triggered and the circuit will be Vs will be applied across my load through the short circuited thyristor, that is it is acting as closed switch. So entire voltage will be appearing across V naught. So again my V naught will take the path of Vs. Okay, hope it is clear for you. Now again let us have a look on the thyristor voltage, that Vt. Until my thyristor is triggered, whatever be the voltage applied to my circuit will come across my thyristor. Vt will be equal to Vs because I naught will be 0 or V naught will be 0 until my thyristor is triggered. So whatever be the applied voltage that will come across my Vt. So thyristor voltage will be equal to Vs until it is triggered. So until at till omega t is equal to alpha, my Vt will take the path of Vs. Okay, and at omega t is equal to alpha and that alpha value is less than 90 degree, keep that in mind. Okay, At that point, what happens? Omega t is equal to alpha. My SCR got triggered or thyristor got triggered. When my thyristor is triggered, it acts as a closed switch and the voltage appearing across my thyristor will be 0. So thyristor voltage will be 0 until pi. Omega t is equal to pi. After omega t is equal to pi, my thyristor gets turned off due to negative cycle of Vs. So negative voltage appear across my thyristor. So Vt will take the path of Vs during negative half cycle. And again at omega t is equal to 2 pi, what happens? My SCR is still in off state and it continues in off state till triggered. When it is triggered, my Vt has reduced to 0 because thyristor acts as closed switch at alpha when it is triggered. So from that point onwards, my SCR is conducting. So when it is conducting, 0 voltage will be appearing across my thyristor or SCR up to 3 pi and the cycle continues. Hope it is clear for you. Okay. This point is 2 pi plus alpha as it is known to you, and it is the alpha value. And keep in mind, for low values of R, alpha will be less than 90 degree. For high value of R, alpha will be greater than 90 degree. Okay, hope it is clear for you. And in practical case, and now if I analyze the circuit, I can understand that alpha varies between, and here when resistance value is very low, alpha will be less than 90 degree. Okay, alpha will be less than 90 degree. For high value of R, alpha will be greater than 90 degree. And what is the maximum value it can attain? It can attain a maximum value of pi. So alpha varies between 90 to pi in this case of high value resistance. And in practical case, alpha cannot be equal to 180 degree. Also, it cannot be equal to 0 degree. Here alpha is varied between 0 to 90 degree. And for high value resistance, alpha is varied between 90 degree and 180 degree. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. So my RC half wave trigger circuit have a firing angle whose variation is from 0 to 180 degree. Practically it cannot be 0 or it cannot be 180 degree. What was the case of resistance triggering circuit or firing circuit? Alpha was able to vary from 0 to 90 degree only. But in this case, we can vary alpha from 0 to 180 degree. That is the advantage of RC firing circuit. Then, now let us have a look on some other point. We have a variable resistance R and we have a capacitance C. We need to find the value of resistance and a capacitance, or limit of the resistance and a capacitance. So first let us find the limit of resistance R. For that we must understand a concept that just before my SCR is triggered, actually we consider D1 as an ideal switch, so no voltage drop will be appearing across my D1. So D1 voltage drop will be 0. Okay, only required voltage is Vc. We just require Vc in order to trigger my SCR. That is, when Vc has become equal to Vgt, my SCR get triggered. But in practical case, my Vc should be equal to VGT plus, my VC should be equal to VGT plus VD. VD means voltage across my diode. Practically, there will be a voltage drop across my D1. So that voltage should be also considered. So VC should be equal to VGT. That is the minimum gate voltage required to trigger my SCR plus diode voltage. VC should be equal to VGT plus VD. Okay, and as we know, just at the moment I trigger my SCR, what is the current flowing through the circuit? IGT will be, GT means gate triggering current. IGT will be flowing through my circuit when I have triggered my SCR. Okay, just at the moment of triggering. Okay, then what is the condition? At the time of triggering, Vs, applied voltage Vs should be greater than or equal to RIGT plus VC. What is RIGT? When IGT is flowing through my resistor R, there will be a voltage drop. That voltage drop plus VC, our supply voltage should be greater than or equal to voltage drop across my resistance and voltage across my capacitance. Only then my SCR get triggered. So this is the condition to trigger my SCR. At that time, what is the value of VC? As I have said earlier, we know that VC is equal to VGT plus VD. I can rewrite this equation as Vs greater than or equal to RIGT plus VGT plus VD. Hope it is clear for you. From this equation, I can get a relation for resistance R. R should be less than or equal to Vs minus VGT minus VD divided by IGT. Hope it is clear for you. This is the equation for resistor. That resistance value should be less than this value. Hope it is clear for you. And in order to find the value for capacitance, we have a relation for RC half wave trigger circuit, that is in the range of power frequencies, in the range of power frequency, my RC value should be greater than 1.3 times of T by 2, where RC should be greater than or equal to 1.3 times of T by 2. What is T? Time period of the applied voltage Vs. Okay, as we know, T is equal to 1 by F, where F is the frequency of the supply, and I can replace this equation as RC greater than or equal to 1.3 divided by 2F, and we know that omega is equal to 2 pi F, and in order to bring that omega in this term, if I apply F is equal to, as we know, omega is equal to 2 pi F, F is equal to omega by 2 pi. If I substitute here, then what I will get? RC should be greater than or equal to 4 by omega. Use this equation for the design of the RC half-wave trigger circuit. From this we can get the value of RC. From here we will get the value of R. Then I can get the value of C. Okay. The main important point we have to keep in mind is that RC half-wave trigger circuit, I can vary my alpha from 0 to 180 degree just by varying the resistance R. How the name RC came? By varying the resistance R, I can vary the alpha. But how C came? That C is the capacitor which is connected across gate and the cathode, so that Vc will be appearing across my gate cathode, which is used to trigger my gate circuit. Hope it is clear for you. Okay. Now let us discuss RC full wave trigger circuit. The main limitation of R firing circuit was its firing angle can be varied only between 0 to 90 degree, and also output voltage was appearing only during one half cycle. Then we have brought a RC firing circuit, in which first we introduced RC half wave trigger circuit in which one limitation of R firing circuit has been rectified, that is the firing angle can be varied from, in R circuit we can vary only from 0 to 90 degree, but in RC half wave trigger circuit that firing angle can be varied from 0 to 180 degree. So that improvisation has been done in RC half wave trigger circuit, but still we have output voltage only during one half cycle. Okay, so we want to rectify that problem also. So we want output voltage during both the half cycles. So here we introduce RC full wave trigger circuit. In the circuit, the triggering pulse, so the same circuit, a capacitor is connected across gate and cathode terminals. The voltage appearing across my capacitor, that is VC, will be applied as a gate voltage for my gate to cathode terminals. So in order to give supply to this part of the circuit, here what we use is, we use full wave uncontrolled rectification or uncontrolled rectifier circuit is used to give supply to my triggering side. Okay, so I connect a Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t to uncontrolled full wave circuit. What is uncontrolled full wave circuit? I have output at rectified output at both the half cycles by using diodes, four diodes, which is not controllable. So it is called uncontrolled. Full wave means we have a rectified output in both the half cycles. So it is full wave rectified rectifier circuit having four diodes. So using this circuit, I make my Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t as a full wave rectifier output, that is Vd. I obtain Vd using full wave rectifier circuit. This Vd is applied across my circuit in which load and the thyristor is present. Okay. Here look, Vd is equal to it takes the same path of Vm sin omega t and up to pi. Again it is triggered up to 2 pi. During 80 half cycle also we have a rectified output. And let us have a look on the rectification process also, if you have any doubt on that. During positive half cycle, my diode D1 and D2 conducts, because D1 is forward bias here, because anode is getting positive and the cathode is getting negative. Here the cathode is getting negative means anode is having higher voltage. So my D1 and D2 get into conduction during positive half cycle. Then my direction of current will be from Vs to D1 through load, through thyristor, through D2, and it completes at a Vs. And keep in mind, since my thyristor is off during this condition, a very small current will be flowing through the circuit. And as I said, due to D1 and D2, during positive half cycle, voltage Vd is appearing across the output of Vd. Here, the output of the full wave rectifier is Vd. During positive half cycle, we have a voltage which is equal to Vs. Okay, that is due to the conduction of D1 and D2. And during negative half cycle, what happens? My anode of D3 will be having positive. During 80 half cycle, this side become positive and this side become negative. Okay, then the positive of the Vs is connected to D3 during negative half cycle. Okay, then and the negative of the Vs during negative half cycle is connected to the cathode of D4. So my D3 and D4 conduct during negative half cycle. So the current path is from Vs to D3 to load through Vt, or through thyristor, and it is reaching back to Vs through D4. Of the path is clear for you. Now even in the negative half cycle also we get rectified output from pi to 2 pi. Hence we get a full wave rectified output VD across my full wave rectifier. Okay, this VD is applying across my thyristor. Okay, then as I said earlier, during positive half cycle, a very small current will be flowing. A very small current will be flowing through VC. Initially my thyristor was in off position, so no current will be flowing through VT. In initial case also current was flowing not through thyristor but was flowing through resistor and a capacitor. Now a small current is flowing through resistor and a capacitor. That current will be charging my capacitor to voltage VC. And when this VC becomes equal to my VGT, that is my minimum gate voltage required to trigger my thyristor. When my VC has become equal to VGT, what happens? My thyristor gets triggered and the I naught will be flowing through my thyristor. Okay, just keep in mind during positive half cycle, due to the full wave rectifier, a voltage will be appearing across my VC, that is positive voltage, and current direction will be from D1 load, then R through C through D2, it is going back to Vs, and that is the direction of voltage during positive half cycle, that is the rectified output from 0 to pi. And during this condition, at omega t is equal to 0, my capacitor was initially not charged, and this voltage will be used to charge my capacitor. Initially, it is not charged. So, in order to charge my capacitor, since capacitor opposed a sudden change in voltage, it slowly charges. Due to high value of resistance, the current flowing will be very low value. Due to very low current, charging current will be very low, and capacitor will be charging very slowly, that VC gets charged slowly, slowly at this point, and this point will be the point at which my VC become equal to VGT. Then my SR gets triggered. So suddenly what happens? The voltage across my VC becomes 0. Why? My gate cathode terminal act as a short circuit. Then suddenly when it my SR starts triggered, or when my SR starts conducting, my this part will be acting as short circuit. Then the voltage appearing across my capacitor will be near to zero value, as we have mentioned in the previous case also, in the RC half wave trigger circuit also, capacitor voltage VC will suddenly reduces when my SR gets triggered. Okay, and it is the point alpha. Okay, at alpha greater than pi by 2, my SR got triggered and my VC suddenly drops to a value near to 0. Okay, at this point, no voltage appear across my capacitor because I naught charge flowing due to the conduction of thyristor. So from D1 through load through thyristor, I naught will be flowing through D2 and it closes circuit at Vs. Okay. So I naught will be present and V naught will be present when my thyristor is conducting. That time no voltage will be appearing across my VC. So it slowly starts discharging at a pi. VC becomes 0. Okay. From this point, again what happens? My VC is equal to 0. Since the rectified output is appearing across my circuit, what happens? Instead of negative half cycle, in this case we have a positive voltage. So again my capacitor gets charged and the polarity will be same as in the case of first cycle, because during positive half cycle also the capacitor is charged in such a way that upper plate is having positive and the lower plate is having negative, and it is charged from Vs through D1 through load through R and C. Okay, then C upper plate will be having positive, that is during positive half cycle. Okay, and during negative half cycle also, what is the direction of current. My D3 is conducting and the current will be flowing through R, C and complete the circuit through D4 to Vs. Okay. So capacitor charging direction remains the same. In negative half cycle of the Vs also, capacitor is charged with the positive in the upper plate and the negative in the lower plate. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. Then during negative half cycle of Vs, my capacitor is getting positive voltage and due to high value of resistance, small current will be flowing. So charging of capacitor takes place slowly and at again after alpha degree, my Vc has become equal to Vgt. Then again my SCR got triggered. Okay, if SCR got triggered, my VC has reduced to a very low value near to zero. And as I said in earlier case, here also no voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. So my capacitor starts discharging. And at 2 pi, what happens? My capacitor voltage becomes zero. Again, the same process. Again positive half cycle, positive voltage will be appearing across my capacitor and the capacitor will be charged slowly, and at this point again my SCR is triggered and VC has reduced very low value near to zero. Then no voltage will be appearing across my capacitor when SCR is triggered. So my voltage in my capacitor starts discharging to zero voltage at 3 pi. Okay, hope it is clear for you. And now I got the alpha. Okay, alpha value is greater than 90 degree in this case. Okay, now let us look on to V naught. What is the case of V naught? As we know, when my SCR is not triggered, no current will be flowing through the circuit. That means even though a small charging current will be flowing, that is negligible when compared to I naught. So I naught flowing through the circuit is considered as zero. So the voltage across my load V naught will be also zero. So V naught will be zero till which point? Till alpha. Till my SCR is triggered, V naught will be zero. When my SCR is triggered, what happens? My I naught will be flowing through my SCR and it is taken back to supply through D2. Through D1 load, then thyristor, through D2 it is taken back to Vs. Okay. During this condition, Vt will be zero. Why? Thyristor is in conduction state. Then it acts as a closed switch and voltage across Vt will be zero during conduction. Okay. Then entire voltage appearing here, Vd will be appearing across my V naught. Okay, so my V naught will take the path of Vd, not Vs. Okay, don't confuse with that. It actually takes the path of Vs, but actually this Vs is full wave rectified now, so it takes the path of Vd. Okay, then up to pi it takes the path of Vd, and at omega t is equal to pi, what happens? Again my SCR is in off state until it is triggered again. My V naught will be zero because I naught will be zero until it is triggered. Until my SCR is triggered, my I naught is zero in the circuit. So V naught will be zero. When the SCR is triggered at pi plus alpha, again my output voltage suddenly reduces to suddenly increases to voltage which is equal to Vd. Okay, it takes the path of Vd and again it takes the path of Vd up to 2 pi. Again from 2 pi up to 2 pi plus alpha, my SCR is in off state. So I naught will be 0. So V naught will be 0 until 2 pi plus alpha. Okay. Then again it starts, my SCR starts conducting. Then I naught starts flowing through the circuit. Then I naught into resistance, load resistance will give you V naught. Then V naught will take the path of Vd. Hope it is clear for you. Okay. Then what about the case of uh, thyristor. Here you can see that during positive half cycle also we have a output voltage V naught, and during negative half cycle of Vs also we have a output voltage. That means our triggering circuit is full wave triggering circuit. We have a output voltage at both the positive as well as negative cycle. Clear? And about thyristor voltage, when my thyristor is not conducting, I naught will be almost zero, V naught will be zero. So whatever be the voltage Vd appearing here will be appearing across my thyristor, since my thyristor is not conducting. Clear? So thyristor will take the path of, or thyristor voltage will take the path of Vd until it is triggered. Until it is triggered up to alpha, it takes the path of Vd or Vs. Okay. And at alpha, what happens? My SR got triggered because my Vc value has become equal to Vgt. So my SR got triggered, and at alpha, my thyristor got triggered or SR got triggered. Then SR act as a closed switch. So voltage appearing across my SR will be zero. So VT will reduce to zero suddenly up to pi. Okay, up to pi it remains as zero. Okay, then what happens? Again, my SR is in off state. Okay, my SR is in off state. Again, entire VD will be appearing across my SCR. So SCR voltage takes the path of VD until it is triggered. Until it is triggered. Okay. Here at pi plus alpha, it is again triggered. So my thyristor voltage gets reduced to zero because my thyristor is triggered at this point. So again up to 2 pi, thyristor voltage is zero because thyristor was conducting. At 2 pi again what happens? A voltage Vd will be appearing across my thyristor since my thyristor is not triggered during this condition. Up to 2 pi plus alpha, my thyristor was not conducting, so Vt will take the path of Vd. Then at 2 pi plus alpha, my thyristor conducts. So again, thyristor voltage suddenly reduces to zero because thyristor acts as a closed switch there. So voltage across the closed switch is zero. So thyristor voltage becomes reduced to zero, and it continues up to 3 pi. And this process repeats. Hope it is clear for you. And it is for high value resistance. Now consider a low value resistance case. Here, what is the situation? Low resistance means during positive half cycle and during negative half cycle, the charging current will be flowing through my capacitor, as I have mentioned earlier, because Vd is positive in both the cases. A charging current will be having the same direction in both the cases, and the charging current value will be higher compared to previous case because here low resistance value, resistance is varied to a very low value, so that charging current will be higher, so the charging rate of the capacitor will be higher compared to previous case. So at omega t is equal to 0, my capacitance voltage was 0. Then if it is triggered at a higher rate, sorry, when it is charged at a higher rate, because resistance value is low, so my capacitor starts charging at a higher rate, so that at angle alpha, which is less than pi by 2, my Vc become equal to Vgt. My Vc has now become equal to Vgt before omega t is equal to 90 degree. Clear? Omega t 90 degree, before omega t is equal to 90 degree, or alpha becomes my thyristor starts conducting when my Vc become equal to Vgt. That angle is called firing angle alpha. Now in this case, this firing angle alpha is less than 90. Hope it is clear for you. Now At this point, alpha, my thyristor starts conducting. So voltage across my capacitor reduces to a very low value near to zero. As in the previous case, again, no voltage appearing across my capacitor. So my capacitor starts discharging, slowly discharging, and up to pi, my capacitor will be discharging and capacitor voltage become zero. Okay, and capacitor voltage can be zero at this point or before this point also. Let it be become zero at omega t is equal to pi, and at this point again my capacitor is getting charged due to my Vd, that is due to negative half cycle of Vs. Also my Vd will be positive. This Vd will cause my capacitor to charge, and due to low resistance capacitor is charged quickly, that before omega t is equal to pi plus pi by 2 my SR gets triggered, and my capacitance voltage Vc will suddenly reduces to a value near to zero because my thyristor got triggered. So it acts as a short circuit path. So this voltage will be appearing across my Vc, that is near to zero value. So Vc will be reduced suddenly to a value near to zero. Again, during my SCR is conducting, what is the case? No voltage will be appearing across my capacitor, so my capacitor starts discharging slowly, and at 2 pi my capacitor voltage will be zero. Again a positive voltage is appearing across my capacitor, then my capacitor starts charging at a faster rate due to low resistance. As I have mentioned earlier also, my SR gets triggered when my VC is become equal to VGT. Then what happens? My SR is triggered, then VC has reduced to a very low value near to zero due to since there is no voltage appearing across my capacitor while my SR is conducting, so my capacitor will be discharging slowly. At 3 pi my VC becomes zero. Hope it is clear for you. From this what we got is alpha is a value, that is firing angle become a value less than 90 degree. Alpha is less than 90 degree in this case. Okay, at this point alpha my SCR is triggered. As we know, output voltage will appear only when my SCR is triggered. When my SCR is not triggered, no current will be flowing through the circuit, that is I naught will be almost near to zero, so V naught will be almost zero. Then when my SCR is not conducting, voltage across my load will be zero, as I said earlier. Up to alpha, my V naught will be zero. At alpha, what happens? My SCR got triggered, and then I naught will be start flowing through the circuit. Then V naught will be appearing across my load, and this V naught will be equal to which value? Equal to Vd, because SCR will be conducting, so it acts as a short circuit. So Vd is applied across this circuit, means entire Vd will be appearing across my load. So load will take the path of Vd. Okay, up to which point? Up to pi. Again at pi my SCR is under off state. Okay, under off state. So my SCR is not triggered at omega t is equal to pi. So what happens? SCR is off, I naught will be zero, then V naught will be zero until my SCR is triggered. And at this point, again my SCR got triggered and I naught starts flowing through the circuit, and V naught will be flowing, will be appearing across my load, and V naught will take the path of Vd. Again, repeat the same. Okay, and from this omega t is equal to 2 pi up to alpha, again my SCR is not triggered, and at alpha, that is at 2 pi plus alpha, my SCR is again triggered. Then I naught starts flowing and V naught will be appearing across my load. Then my load voltage will take the path of Vd. Taking the path of Vd means what? It becomes equal to Vd. So V naught will be equal to Vd when my SCR is triggered. Hope it is clear for you. Then what is the case of thyristor voltage? As we know in the earlier case also, thyristor will have voltage only when it is not triggered. When it is triggered, voltage appearing across my thyristor will be 0. Okay. When it is not triggered, what happens? I naught will be 0, V naught will be 0. So whatever be the voltage applied to this circuit will be appearing across my thyristor when my thyristor is not conducting. So up to alpha, my thyristor was not conducting. Then entire voltage Vd will appear across my thyristor. Since I naught and V naught is equal to 0, entire voltage Vd will be appearing across my Vt. So Vt takes the path of Vd up to omega t is equal to alpha. At alpha, what happens? My SCR got triggered. Suddenly, my Vt voltage, thyristor voltage, get reduced to 0 because my thyristor acts as a closed switch. So, up to omega t is equal to pi, my SCR is in off state. From pi to pi plus alpha also, my SCR remains in the off state. And at the pi plus alpha, my SCR is triggered again. Then what happens? Sorry. From alpha, my SCR was triggered. So voltage appearing across my SCR will be 0 up to pi. Voltage appearing across my SCR or thyristor will be 0 since it was triggered from alpha to pi. And at the pi, what happens? Again, my SCR is in off state. That is, it is not triggered. So the entire applied voltage Vd will be appearing across my thyristor. So it takes the path of Vd. It takes the path of Vd up to pi plus alpha. Up to pi plus alpha, what happens? My SCR got triggered again. So then suddenly my SCR voltage drops to 0 value because my SCR acts as a closed switch. Okay. From pi plus alpha to 2 pi, again my SCR is under on state or conducting state, and from 2 pi my SCR is again under off state, that is SCR is not triggered. Up to which point? Up to 2 pi plus alpha, my SCR is not triggered. So the entire Vd will be appearing across my thyristor up to 2 pi plus alpha. 2 pi plus alpha, entire Vd will be appearing across my thyristor. At 2 pi plus alpha, what happens? My thyristor voltage suddenly reduces to 0 because thyristor is triggered and it acts as a closed switch. Hope it is clear for you. Now, waveforms and all are clear. Now, what is the variation of alpha in this case? For low value resistance, alpha varies from 0 to 90 degree. 0 to 90 degree. Alpha varies from 0 to 90 degree. Okay. And in uh, high resistance case, alpha varies from 90 degree to 180 degree. 90 degree to 180 degree. Okay. So we can conclude that by varying the resistance, what I can vary? Alpha can be varied between 0, 0 to 180 degree. In practical case, this alpha cannot be 0 as well as 180 degree. So by varying resistance R, we can vary alpha. And we have output at both the half cycle. So it is full wave trigger circuit. And in the previous case, we know that resistance value, this R value should be less than or equal to Vs minus Vgt minus Vd divided by Igt in the case of half wave. Okay. But in full wave, we know that we don't have a diode in this section. This capacitor is connected to gate to cathode terminal. in the absence of diode for the full wave trigger circuit. Why diode is not required in this case? Because in all the half cycles, positive voltage will be appearing across my capacitor. So there is no case where negative voltage will be appearing in the capacitor, so that my gate voltage becomes negative and it may damage my tie resistor. So in this case, such a situation is not there. Always positive voltage will be appearing across my capacitor, because Vd is full wave rectified output. So Vc will be always positive, so we don't require diode here. Clear? So since there is no diode here, there is no voltage drop across my diode. So this voltage will be 0 in case of full wave trigger circuit. So equation remains same. R should be less than or equal to Vs minus Vgt minus 0 divided by Igt. It is the condition for resistance in full wave trigger circuit. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. Then in order to design the full wave trigger circuit within the power frequency limit, RC value should be, R to C should be greater than or equal to 50T divided by 2. 50T divided by 2. This relation has to be used to design the RC full wave trigger circuit. In the previous case, RC should be greater than or equal to 1.3 times T by 2, and in this case RC should be greater than or equal to 50T by 2. Also T is equal to 1 by F. So RC should be greater than or equal to 50 by 2F. As we know, omega is equal to 2 pi F. If I want to include omega in this equation becomes what? RC should be greater than or equal to 157 divided by omega. Using this relation as well as this relation, we can find the value of resistance and the capacitance for RC full wave trigger circuit. This equation is required only for the design of the RC full wave trigger circuit. Okay, and thus it's time to conclude. RC half wave trigger circuit and RC full wave trigger circuit has been explained fully. As I said earlier, the advantage of RC full wave trigger circuit when compared to RC half wave trigger circuit is we get output voltage in both the half cycle for RC full wave trigger circuit. Clear? If you have any doubt in this session, um, please don't hesitate to ask me the doubt, or if you want any clarification, you may ask me through the mail ID given or through the comment box, and I am ready to solve your doubt. And thus we have completed firing circuit, resistance firing circuit, and the resistance capacitance firing circuit. Okay, and in the next session we will have a discussion on UJT triggering circuit, and that's all for today's session. Thank you.